到两个人，这会儿到。
Imagine for a moment that you're watching a television show when suddenly a man steps onto the stage, and his presence immediately makes you question everything you believe about love, obsession, and human boundaries. This is Liang Liang, an ATFDET, ordinary guy from Shandong who was about to show us how unrequited love can transform into something much darker and more disturbing than any horror movie has ever managed to portray. The host asked the simple question everyone expected, "Hello, please introduce yourself." And Liang Liang responded with that icy calm that only comes from someone who has been through hell and back. "Hello, host. Hello, everyone. My name is Liang Liang. I'm from Shandong." But there was something in his voice, something in the way he pronounced his own name, that made everyone in the studio uncomfortable, as if they were in the presence of someone who had seen things no human being should ever see. There, on the other side of the stage, was a woman crying desperately tears that seemed to never end, and the host asked something that made everyone's blood in the audience run cold. You saw her crying like that and felt nothing. No pity at all. Liang Liang's response was so cold, it could have frozen the entire studio. No. Two words that contained years of pain, betrayal, and an emotional transformation that few can comprehend. But the real story was just beginning, because when the host asked, "So tell us, what is she to you?" Liang Liang opened the floodgates to a narrative that would make anyone completely rethink what it means to love someone. "She's a girl I was very, very passionate about in the past." And when pressed about how passionate, he revealed something that touched everyone's heart. Extremely, I felt she was like air to me, even though she was just air. Think about that for a second. He compared the love he felt for her to the air. We breathe something so essential that without it you simply die. But then came the part that broke everyone's heart. Yes, it was something essential as, if I couldn't live without it, but that was only on my part. Only I thought that way. In practice, she was never good to me. I'd rather not talk about it. Those words carried the weight of 1,000 humiliations of 1,000 moments when he gave himself completely to someone who saw him merely as a convenient option. And then Liang Liang began to tell the moment that changed everything, the moment that transformed a man in love into someone completely different, until one day she posted on moments that she had a stomachache, wanted to drink some porridge, some soup, so I thought I'll make something for her. Imagine the scene, this man who loved so much that he compared his feelings to air essential for living, seeing the person he loved asking for help and immediately dropping everything to run to her rescue. He continued with that voice that mixed nostalgia and bitterness. "I made it and went to her house without warning, wanted to give her a surprise. I rang the doorbell," she asked. "Who is it?" I said, "Delivery guy." And here we have a six five all implies. Moment of cruel irony, because without knowing it, Liang Liang had become exactly that, a delivery guy of unrequited love, someone who showed up at someone else's door with gifts that no one had really asked for. She opened the door, but to my surprise, inside the house there was a man only in underwear. The entire audience held their breath because everyone knew what was coming, but somehow hoped it would be different, that this time the story would have a happy ending. But no. When she saw me, she pushed me out immediately and told him, "Honey, it's just the delivery guy." Stop everything for a moment and imagine what those words did to him. "Honey, it's just the delivery guy." She literally reduced years of devoted love, of sacrifices, of shared dreams to just a delivery guy. Someone so insignificant, they didn't even deserve to be introduced by name. And Liang Liang described what happened to him in that moment. At that moment I was completely shocked. I didn't know what to say. Actually, the moment I was pushed out of her house, my world collapsed. My sense of reality fell apart. These words are devastating because they show how one moment can completely destroy someone's perception of reality. For years he had built a version of the story where maybe she reciprocated his feelings, where maybe there was hope, and in a matter of seconds, all of that was pulverized before his eyes. "After that, I moved," he said, and those 4 words tell an entire story of how sometimes the only way to survive emotional pain is to literally, physically flee from the place where it happened. But here is where the story takes a completely unexpected turn, because the host asked the question everyone was thinking, "So why did you come here today? If you no longer care about her, why did you come?" And Liang Liang's answer revealed something much darker than anyone could have imagined. To be honest, I didn't even want to come. You could say she forced me. What started as a story of unrequited love was quickly transforming into something much more disturbing. She won't stop calling, texting. I changed my number, and even so, she found me. She asked my friends for my contact, even went to my parents' house. Pay attention to what's happening here. The woman who humiliated him, who treated him like an insignificant delivery guy, who crushed his heart in front of another man, was now obsessively pursuing him. Liang Liang continued. She's already affecting my life and my parents too. I thought, with her like this, if I don't speak clearly here, she'll never stop. And then something happened that left the entire audience speechless. The woman who had spent the last few minutes crying desperately suddenly exploded. You have no choice. You came here because you want to be with me. The transformation was so shocking, it seemed like we were watching a completely different person, a person who perhaps had never really existed. Liang Liang looked at her with that coldness that only comes from someone who has been broken and rebuilt as a different person, and when she asked if he had a girlfriend, he answered with devastating simplicity, "Yes, I have a girlfriend." Her reaction was immediate and revealing, "You're kidding me, right?" But when he confirmed it was true that he had a girlfriend and that they were even going to get married, her mask fell off completely. "You're messing with me, right? That doesn't exist. If you do, she was hired to humiliate me. This isn't real. You never forgot me." These words revealed something deeply disturbing about the psychology of someone who can't accept that their actions have consequences, that love has limits, that people can indeed move on. And then came the revelation that left everyone jaw-dropped. "Actually, the one who asked me to come here today was her," he said, pointing off stage. "Your girlfriend asked you to come?" asked the host incredulously. "Yes, she wanted me to clarify everything with this girl on stage." The host, driven by curiosity and everyone's disbelief, shouted, "Wow, what a woman with attitude, she really exists. Are you sure? Then show us how you are now." Open the second stage. And when the curtains opened, revealing Xingxin, Liang Liang's girlfriend, the contrast couldn't have been more striking. "Hello everyone. Hello host, I'm Xingxin Liang, Liang's girlfriend." Her voice was calm, confident, full of a confidence that came from someone who truly loved and was loved back. But the woman on stage immediately attacked. How much is she getting paid for this? Once again revealing her inability to understand that true love exists and doesn't need to be bought. Xingxin responded with a dignity that cut like a blade. "This has nothing to do with money, it's from the heart." And when the woman continued her attacks, questioning why Xingxin was wearing sunglasses, insinuating plastic surgery, each word revealed more about her own insecurity and desperation. "Why did you ask your boyfriend to come here?" asked the host, and Xingxin's answer showed what it really means to love someone. "I've been with Liang Liang for 6 months, but recently he was emotionally unstable. Drinking alone all the time. I asked why, and he confessed this sister keeps calling, texting, disturbing him." Imagine the situation. A woman who loves her boyfriend enough to want to solve the problem that's destroying his peace of mind. A woman who, instead of giving an ultimatum or creating drama, decided to face the situation head-on. But the stalker's response was explosive. "Are these harassment messages? Do you know what you're talking about? Did you study? Do you have education?" And when Xingxin explained that Liang Liang didn't know what to do anymore and that she had suggested resolving everything at once, the woman completely lost control. "Enough. Stop pretending, get out of there. You're not his girlfriend. If you don't come out now, I'm leaving with him." What followed was a scene that showed the true character of each person involved. The woman screaming, demanding that Xingxin come out from backstage. Xingxin trying to maintain dignity while being attacked. And Liang Liang watching everything with that coldness of someone who finally understood the difference between destructive obsession and true love. This story forces us to confront some uncomfortable truths about human nature, about how sometimes the people who say they love you are the same ones who destroy you, about how true love sometimes means having enough courage to let someone go, about how obsession can disguise itself as love until it's too late. Liang Liang started this journey as a man who loved so much he compared his feelings to air essential for living. He was humiliated, betrayed, and broken. But instead of letting himself be consumed by bitterness, he chose to rebuild his life. find someone who valued him and was lucky enough to find a woman strong enough to fight alongside him against the ghosts of the past. The real tragedy of this story isn't Liang Liang's broken heart, nor even the sick obsession of the woman who stalked him. The real tragedy is how our society often confuses obsession with love, toxic persistence with dedication, and destructive behavior with true passion. This story teaches us that sometimes the greatest act of love is knowing when to stop. That dignity is worth more than any relationship that true love builds, while obsession only destroys, and most importantly, that everyone deserves to be with someone who sees them as more than just a delivery guy at the door. In the end, Liang Liang found his answer. He discovered that there was life after humiliation, that true love exists, and that sometimes we need to go through hell to recognize paradise when it finally appears. So tell me, what's your point of view about this story? Have you ever been through something similar? Have you been the Liang Liang, or the Xing Xin, or maybe even the stalker? Share with all of us in the comments your experiences, your thoughts about where our society went wrong in confusing obsession with love. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, so more people can see this story, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, real stories that make us question everything we think we know about relationships, love, and human nature. See you in the next video with more revelations that will make you completely rethink how you see the world around you.